healing my inner child when I finally listened. For most of my life, I believed being strong was the safest way to live. I learned early how to cope, how to keep going, how to be there for other people. I became very capable, very responsible, very used to carrying emotional weight. And because I was functioning, I thought I was fine. But there came a day when I realised a younger part of me was still quietly waiting to be seen, waiting to be heard, waiting to be understood. Being the strong one. When you grow up learning to manage difficult feelings, you often become the strong one in adulthood, the one people rely on, the one who keeps things together, the one who doesn't want to create trouble. I built an identity around coping, helping others, solving problems, staying calm even when I felt overwhelmed. It looked like strength, and in many ways it was. But underneath that strength, there was also a child who had learnt to be careful, a child who had learnt to read the room, to sense emotional danger, to adjust quietly so things would stay safe. The realisation moment. My realisation did not happen in a dramatic way. It happened quietly, in a moment when life slowed down and I could no longer distract myself by doing. I began to feel a sadness that didn't fully make sense, a longing, a tiredness, a sense that I had been holding something for a very long time. It was as if a younger version of me was still standing somewhere inside, waiting for me to notice her, waiting for me to say, I see you now. Understanding the inner child. The idea of the inner child can stand simply, but it is actually very deep. It is about recognising that our early experience shape how safe or unsafe we feel in the world. If we had to grow up quickly, we may still carry that urgency inside. If we felt unseen, we may still try very hard to be accepted. If we learn to survive by being strong, we will find it difficult to soften later in life. I began to understand the healing was not about becoming someone new. It was about gently meeting the parts of myself that had been waiting. Beginning gently healing. Healing the inner child did not mean going backwards. It meant becoming more compassionate, more honest, more willing to listen to my own emotional needs. I started to allow feelings that I had pushed aside for years, grief, fear, loneliness, even tenderness. This was not easy, but it was real. The slowing, as I allowed space for these feelings, something began to shift inside me. I felt less driven by my strength, less pressured to hold everything together. I began to feel that I could be both capable and vulnerable at the same time. Quite changes. The changes were not dramatic, they were stubble. I noticed moments of greater calm, moments of choosing rest instead of pushing on, moments of speaking more kindly to myself. It was as if the child inside me was beginning to feel safer. And when that happens, life feels different. We stop living only in a survival mode. We begin to experience more presence, more softness, more connection. Hope and encouragement. If you recognise part of your own story in this, please know you're not alone. Many adults are still carrying younger emotional patterns. This is not weaknesses, it is part of being human. Healing does not require perfection. It simply begins with awareness, a willingness to sit quietly and listen to what your inner world is trying to tell you. Over time, this gentle listening can become a form of deep strength. For me, healing my own inner child has been a journey of learning to feel safer in my own life, learning to soften, learning to trust myself, learning that I am allowed to exist without always being on guard. If you are walking your own healing path, you are welcome here, and I thank you for watching and being with me. And I love sitting under this oak tree. Please comment if you like the oak tree. I love it. Okay, guys, bye for now.